Hello and welcome to the Blue Jay, that's me. The Blue Jay's new live stream of a KSP playthrough with a few mods active. I've got the Interstellar mod because Scott Manley, who you should really check out, he's awesome and really famous, so yeah, he's just cool. Check him out. If you've not, you should have checked him out already though. Blue Jay. So yeah, a few mods. So the Interstellar mod, which I will explain at some point. Let me just check that this works. Awesome. It's currently working, I think. So hopefully you'll be getting this stream intact. Yesterday I actually recorded a 1-hour session of Dark Souls. And for some reason, only the title screen was ever recorded. So there's me blathering on over a completely useless screen of Dark Souls, which is not helpful to anyone. So today I have checked to make sure the recording is going as according to plan. So, I've got the Interstellar mod, the Remote Tech mod, and possibly one other, but I can't remember which one. But definitely those two are the most important. The Interstellar mod adds several extra fuel varieties, and the Remote Tech mod means that you need certain things in place to control non-manned vehicles. So, for example, if I have a vehicle on Juna, I would need to have a satellite uplink going from the KSP base and then relayed to my vehicle on Juna, and there would be a speed of light delay between those things. Between my input, that is, and any response. So, Blue Jay, actually no, let's call it General Awesomeness. I really hope that's how you spell General Awesomeness. So, yeah, this should be fun. Thanks, yeah. So you start with appalling frame rates, apparently. No, you start with a very basic base, and all of these components you can upgrade as the game goes on. But for now, the first thing to do is find a contract, and are these ones that we need to automate? Okay, so the altitude record and speed records are automatically active. So let's see how many contracts I'm allowed. Oh, it says 2. And oh no, I didn't. Well, I better launch our first vessel, and can I escape the atmosphere on the first launch? It's worth a try. So, I considered the better than starting manned pack, but I don't really trust packs like that. Yeah, no, this isn't going to go out of the atmosphere. Never mind. Oops. Oh, cool. That's really cool. Let's put that away though for now. I guess that's probably the best thing to do. I'll have some mystery goo on each side, and that gives me a decent amount of science. Probably gonna die. Sorry for that. I don't know where the recording stopped. I will try and avoid pressing the U key, or the I key in fact, which is what would stop it in this, and hopefully I will be able to make up in post-production for all the narration you missed. So, I don't know what you missed. Jebediah is a pilot, which means I can activate SAS, and let's see what happens now. Oh no. Let's observe mystery goo. Keep data. Crew report. Keep data. EVA. EVA report. Keep data. That's about as much data as you can get on land. And I'm pretty sure we're still recording. I'm terribly sorry, I don't know where that interruption was. I might do Scott's style of old me and new me. Okay, and I'm not very high at all, so we'll just observe Mystery Goo while flying. Use physics acceleration to see how high we get, which isn't too bad. It's about 7k-ish. And that looks kind of terrifying. So let's try and fix it. Okay, so this might end up with Jebediah dead. Oh no, apparently it's safe to deploy the parachute. So I will just wait until the last possible moment. Because no one wants a parachute deployed too early, because you just have to wait around forever. Nope, that was too late. And Jebediah is dead. I am sorry, Jebediah. Your sacrifice shall not be in vain. Fortunately, as of 1.0, there's a replacement for Jebediah who is also a competent pilot. Valentina. Actually, I can revert to vehicle assembly. Let's revert to launch. Let's try not to be quite so ballsy with this launch. Oops. I've got to... Let's revert flight to launch. You've seen me do this before, at least, assuming I've not messed anything up with the recordings anyway. So, board. Let's quick save. F5 is quick save, and F10 or 11, I can't remember which. One of those is to resume, although it could be F9. I can't actually remember. Doesn't really matter all that much. It would probably go a bit further if I let it burn slightly more slowly, but the top speed isn't that high, so it's probably not that big an issue. I could explain the physics of that, and I probably will in a later launch, but this one is kind of time limited. So let's time accelerate again. Oh. It's not really worth doing the whole any other form of acceleration. And yes, I'm using ordinary parachute launch and hoping that actually opens. Please open. I'd really rather Jeb doesn't die again, because I definitely did everything necessary to keep him alive this time. My headphones are getting interference. Hopefully the microphone isn't. We'll see in the final recording, but hopefully the microphone is at least a little... I don't remember the word. Insulated? No, that's not the correct word. Isolated. It'll do. Isolated from that form of interference. And landing like now. There we go. And then I just recover the vessel for science and some refund on the amount of money I spent for it. Sure. So there we go, 75k roughly I have in total funds. That's not enough to spend on anything useful whatsoever, but the science, however, will be. So let's see. Whoa, that's a lot more nodes. That is an awful lot more nodes. And that's what the Interstellar mod does. Apparently command modules is automatically unlocked, I guess? So if you have both of those, command modules is automatically I don't know. Certainly something weird's happening there. We'll find out. So basic rocketry and engineering 101. I can afford stability, which might be, let's see what basic rocketry gets you. Oh, I can't do stability anyway because it's got dual dependency. So let's research engineering 101. And let's see whether we've got any more. And I have one active contract and only one available, so I may as well agree to try and orbit Kerbin. Sorry about that noise, it's a bottle of water. Well, okay, I am really sorry. This whole stream keeps getting interrupted. I might just have to start recording again and remove the hotkeys. So yeah, you can see that I messed up badly. In the most embarrassing way, but somehow funniest way possible. At least he can't possibly die. Jebediah's probably loving this. So, outtakes aside, I guess I should fix my OBS settings, and I'll be back to you in a second. Let's get this guy landed first, though. Probably gonna die okay, again. It was the letter I when I was typing in the name. And the first time round was when I called it probably gonna die, I guess. So that's why you don't use alphanumeric characters for basic recording settings. So let's recover this guy. Is there anything useful mystery goo wise? Yeah, let's keep data, recover vessel. And I'm going to, for this stream, just be really, really careful about certain letters. Apparently I have more money now. Shouldn't have any more money. But the point remains that that worked perfectly fine. Oh, the point, in case you hadn't realised, was that I need to check whether that final stage has enough thrust to be meaningful. It really does, given that it was still staying in the air despite having a parachute. So let's see, structural. I guess it's only vertical staging that I can do. And I am aware that most people would use the liquid stage as the final stage and the solid state as a booster. But I'm not going to do that. I am going to use the liquid stage as the first one, as it's the most heavy, and therefore actually the most benefit will be gained from losing it. Let's see, is there anything else science-wise? Not, there is, but I would much rather just see if I can get myself out of the atmosphere. So let's have a go. Again, I failed to sort out the staging, so this is going to be bad. Actually, that's about right. That works just fine. So, this will probably go horribly wrong, but at the very least we get to go crew report. Nice. And just keep burning for a while, get to pretty significant velocities. If we're lucky, we might get out of the atmosphere. I always tend to over-engineer my rockets, so they cost quite a lot more money than they need to. And liquid fuel almost done. Hey! Awesome. Oh, that's why people use solid rocket to begin with. The lower the air pressure, the lower their ISP, which is a very important factor. Okay, we're going to be escaping the atmosphere with no problems whatsoever. This thing might even be able to achieve orbit. Certainly, altitude records are broken now. All of them. I imagine? I hope so anyway. As this will just keep burning and keep going faster. It'll give me loads and loads of money at least. Told you. Look at all that money. Where's the escape the atmosphere one? I'm sure I put it in there. There we go. That's not bad. So about 330 kilometers up. I can work with that. Let's see, observe mystery goo. Keep data. Have I got a crew report already? And I can't do EVAs off the surface of Kerbin. Okay, let's just keep going higher and higher and higher. And higher. Well, not lower now, if we're honest. This could go horribly wrong, by the way, as there's something called re-entry speeds. So I now need to make sure that that there is taking as much of the re-entry force as possible. Awesome. So now I've got as much data as possible. I just have to hope that Jeb doesn't die. Ooh dear, that looked bad. And Jeb died. Now, that is because I used a very steep angle of descent and hit very high density atmosphere at very high speeds, which overheated everything instantaneously. There are ways of avoiding it, as I will show you. The easiest way of avoiding it, by a long, long way, is to rely on the... I think there's a built-in heat shield for this model of capsule. That's what it's called, capsule. I think there's a built-in heat shield. So we'll rely on that. And you'll notice I've avoided pressing the I key for a long while, so you've been able to watch me play this game for a while. And another thing I'm going to do is just add a bit of horizontal velocity to my entire burn. The theory being that it should make my entry angle slightly better. Okay, that'll do. That seems perfectly acceptable. Certainly means that my distance records will be achieved as well. Oops, but that is much harder to control. Let's see, why is that so difficult to control? But at least I should probably now be able to escape the atmosphere. Wait, apparently that's already detached. Oh, I see. My bad. At least we're getting steady acceleration. Okay, is that high enough? Finally, upper atmosphere, and then finally we'll use space for the last mystery goo. As I'm pretty sure we should have got to space. Yeah, we got to space quite comfortably. So let's super speed out into space. Now we're always, at this point in the game, much more interested in the surface velocity. So, yay, distance records. And now we just have to hope that that's enough to keep everyone alive. Certainly, I have a lot of complete contracts. Let's see. I should also have a lot of money as a consequence. Oh, I really do. Awesome. So orbiting Kerbin is... Oh, no, speed record of 2,500 has not been achieved. That's a lot of speed, but I'll get there. Trust me, I will get there. Let's speed through this and let the re-entry just take its course. No, no. No, it's really important that the capsule is at least partly aligned with its re-entry vector. So hopefully this time round Jebediah isn't going to die. Yay! Re-entry heating. I'm pretty sure that this capsule has at least moderate heat absorbing abilities. If I've remembered that incorrectly, I am sorry. Come on. Nope, that's going to blow up. Oh no, we're cooling down. Awesome. Now F5, because I really don't want to miss the window to open the parachute. The funny thing is, this requires really high CPU use as a game. I don't know why that's so funny, but it is. I find it funny anyway. There we go. And we're not too high above the water, and Jebediah is going to come to the land safely. See, I avoid my Kerbals dying, even by breaking the laws of physics and reality and causality. Told you I was drinking water. I just thought I'd decant it into a glass this time. The packaging noise was an antibiotic, which I thought I may as well take now, as I'll probably forget later in the day. This is so boring. But the problem is, when I accelerate with the atmosphere, it also accelerates all the physics calculations. Which means that that would have killed Jeb. Which is a shame. But maybe EVA is possible? And therefore an EVA report. Yay! Oops. Okay, well... let's see, what can we do? Okay, I'm going to have to recover them separately. That happens sometimes. Your capsule and your Kerb get separated, so you get different science from them. But it's easy enough to get that. So I just go, ooh, what's that? That sounds interesting. Either way, recover that. You get less money if you are further away from the base, but that's reasonably close. So that should be loads of science. Let's see what they want me to do. So currently I have Orbit Kerbin active and also speed record of 2.5k. They're pretty similar, to be honest. If I'm orbiting Kerbin, it's somewhere in that region anyway. Where does she want to go? So she just wants to do a suborbital spaceflight. I guess I can do that. It's not much money though. But I've just done a suborbital spaceflight, so that would certainly be possible. Let's see, what else have we got? That could be useful. but the altitude and speed requirements are difficult. I'm going to see what I can unlock with 57.5 science. Survivability... a heat shield would be really useful. I guess I can research both of them. What have I got left? 22.5. There's nothing that fits that at all, is there? Apart from stability, which I guess, if I'm going to get into aviation, which is a useful category to get into for science later on, then stability is a perfectly respectable thing to research. So I'll ferry this VIP safely to her destination. Sure. Oops. Wait, what? Oh, that's cool. But either way, that's not supposed to be there. Oh, and I have... So, actually, no. Do I want to ferry her right now? No, I'll do it once I've got the... Where do you get the pod upgrade? So for the VIP missions, usually what you want is something along the lines of that would work perfectly fine, the inline cockpit, or... yeah, the inline cockpit will be the cheapest at the moment. Though usually there's the lander cam, or can lander, or whatever they call it. That's usually a pretty cheap way of doing things, but I can't seem to find it. Landing mate? Nope. Oh, there it is. Advanced flight control. So I will already have the inline cockpit by that point. Let's see, am I still recording? Yes, yes I am. That's good news. So, let's see what happens. Can I actually design a craft that is capable of surviving atmospheric re-entry? I really wish they wouldn't come up automatically. So, the heat shield means that this will be able to survive most shallow descent re-entries, regardless of speed. And it also means that, as we're interested in science, oops, I just overwrote, probably gonna die again, but it's better than turning your stream off accidentally. And yes, that was super cheating. But it got me 7.5 science for free. Okay, structural. So the final stage, I am now... I'm probably going to make it a fuel tank based one. So it will be TV45, which is... it's just so bad as a last stage, but it's much easier to direct and control. In every other metric, it's just the worst last stage possible. But the good thing is, I can just use three-way symmetry and attach the thumper at much lower than intended, like 33 maybe if I'm lucky. I'll see how things go. I'll also need... nope, we don't have anything structural like that yet. So we'll just have to see how things go. They launch, then they drop, then that launches, then that drops. Excellent, that's pretty much in order. Oops, no, that's the wrong place. Craft is too heavy. Well, I guess I can start spending money on increasing the weight that the launch pad can handle. Oh yes, right click. So that's how you upgrade the weight that the launch pad can handle. So probably gonna die again. Launch. Let's see how this goes. So 33% thrust is insufficient. So what I need to do is find a thrust that is adequate. Let's go for 40%, or 40.5 is close enough. Hey, it looks like it might be adequate, but there are still issues potentially. We'll see. I think we need slightly more thrust anyway. Certainly doesn't look terrible though. I'm thinking a bit more thrust. So essentially you lose energy every single second you're in the Earth's gravity and it's not turning you. So if you're not in orbit and you're in a gravitational field, you're losing energy to that gravitational field. So you want to go up quickly because of that. But if you go up too quickly, you end up losing energy to drag. So you need a balance between the two, which I'm not convinced I'm going to achieve. I'm going to reset the experiment because at the very least I should get into space. At the very least. Potentially quite a bit further. Now, you will very quickly start seeing the problem of the rocket equation, which I will explain at some point, probably today. But maybe not, we'll see. We'll see how things go. And nearly at the limit of where they can take me. Okay, so I am going to move to map view, which still gives me the same set of controls, but allows me to see what they're actually doing to my trajectory. So right now I strongly doubt that this can get me anywhere near orbit, but I'm going to go for it anyway, all the same, it's worth a try. So apoapsis going further and further and further. To be honest, if I timed this correctly, it might just be easier to get a Munning counter, and that would get me loads of science. But that would require very, very precise timing, which is difficult at this point in the game. Okay, let's wait until we're in space. Are we in space yet? No, we're not in space yet. Now we're in space. Keep data. Observe. Keep data. Observe. Oh, what a shock. Keep data. So that's loads of data, even if it comes to the worst. So that ball at the bottom is called the nav ball, and it's used actually in almost all airplanes and rockets, and it looks very much like that with the orange and teal because of the contrast between the two colours. Nope. Okay, so I have slightly overshot there, but the whole point of the nav ball is it gives you a pretty good idea of your position and your position in relation to your velocity. So that was fairly much useless, but at the very least we've got some science, and that might even get us the velocity record. We'll see. Certainly re-entry shouldn't be a problem now. There we go. Let's see how that works. Observe mystery goo. Keep data. So that's all the science I'm going to get from that. This game in mission mode or story mode or career mode, in fact, is what they call it, can be incredibly frustrating. But with any luck, there we go. Shouldn't be that long before we're back on the ground, and I think at the end of this video I will just call it a day, as that's enough for now. I know I didn't do Minecraft, and I know I recorded an entire hour of Dark Souls. I'm sure that's the thing, but I really don't want to know what it actually is. I recorded an hour of Dark Souls, which, nice. Sorry, I just needed some screenshots of that. I recorded, that's, by the way, probably Minmus, I would guess, given its size. And the moon is there. I recorded an entire hour of Dark Souls gameplay. But, as I said, I messed up the recording completely by using full screen mode, which apparently that game doesn't like. Or in fact, by using monitor mode. I needed to use full screen mode. So how much did I lose? Barely. I could almost have got away without the heat shield that time. But better safe than sorry. So at about 1,000 meters I will activate the parachutes and hope that one parachute, parachutes, it's one of them, is sufficient. I think it should be. Certainly we're still decelerating, which is a promising sign. Okay, not bad at all. There's a really weird sound coming from my computer. I think it's probably one of the fans has gone slightly wrong. Never mind. It's not a big deal. Come on! 60 meters? This is a reasonably high speed to impact the water. Water in KSP is like lava. Just don't touch it if you can avoid it. Hey! I have genuinely no idea what that noise was. It sounded like a fan, but then again it could have been a hard drive. So, yay! That worked. What's this do? Okay, so it shows me which contracts I've got active. Awesome. I'm going to sign out now. Hope you enjoyed that video despite my blunders. The blunders involving the U and I key. But I will be back, hopefully, with a KSP Kingdom Hearts video on Wednesday and Friday, and we'll see about getting that Dark Souls video that I was planning as a surprise weekend one to make up for the fact that I'm not currently comfortable with a camera-based video, as would be required for my news report. So, I'll see you then, but until then, Blue Jay out.